A number of explorers to the Icelands blow up one of the glaciers and finds Leolachea inside. One of the scientists is stunned because the permafrost dates to the Ice Age. The leader of the group gives the order to contact the Arcane Court to inform them of their findings. They all get startled when they hear the girl trying to guess how many thousands of years she has been encapsulated inside the ice. Leolachea concludes that she must have overslept and informs the explorers that she's a former god and orders them to bring her the current era's very best player. 1 year passes, and a presenter riding a helicopter flies over the city commenting on the gods' games. He wonders what deity humanity will be challenging. 3 matches are going on simultaneously, which is unprecedented. People from all over the world are watching the live stream. Faye has returned to the city after his 6-month voyage, and the live stream of the gods' games interests him as he passes through the square. The apostles who challenge the gods lose unanimously, but no one seems surprised. Apostles are humans who have been given the Arise seal by the deities. This allows them to challenge the gods to games since the higher beings were bored. These apostles also gain superhuman or magical powers, which gives them a fighting chance when facing the gods in battles of wits. All gods' games take place within a realm called the Elements, which is where the deities live. The skills granted by the Arise seal can only be used within the element. However, as a reward for winning a game, apostles will be able to use part of their abilities in the real world. These powers are essential for humans to pioneer unexplored lands because 93% of the world is hostile and uncharted. If an apostle loses 3 games, they relinquish their right to participate in further challenges. However, if one wins 10 games against the gods, then they will receive a clear status, which is humanity's main objective. The apostles who achieve this will be given something known as a celebration. No human has accomplished this yet, so they don't know what it is. Faye disperses with the crowd and rushes to get to his destination since he too is an apostle. The guy seems to be some kind of celebrity because someone notices him in the crowd, which alerts the rest. Faye hastily excuses himself before it causes a scene. He arrives at the Ruin Branch office of the Arcane Court. As soon as he walks in, he catches the attention of everyone, and they all stop what they are doing. The guy looks sharp in his uniform. He is welcomed by Chief Secretary Miranda, but he's a little annoyed at her. The lady laughs because the girl he spent 6 months searching for turned out to be the wrong person. Miranda was the one who inspired him to go on this journey by informing him of the rumors of a lady having the striking bright red hair characteristic he has been looking for. The chief already knows that the person he seeks to find is the lady who taught him how to play games when he was younger. The chief secretary gestures for him to follow her to the 17th floor because she wants to discuss the game between humanity and the gods. She briefs him on the situation as they ride the elevator. Miranda wants him to meet Leolachea, who demands they bring her the best player in the current era, which is Faye. The chief secretary explains that 1 year ago, they dug her out from some permafrost. Faye is aware of the incident and how the god was taken into the Arcane Court. Miranda finds Leolachea to be strange after hearing her explanation of how she got frozen. She hid on the sea floor while playing tag with some humans and ended up sleeping down there and was caught up by the Ice Age. She has been napping for 3,000 years, frozen solid. She had free AC for 3 millennia. Leolachea has told the court that she's an avatar of flame in the form of a dragon. However, she classes herself as a former god whose powers have declined. Miranda still finds her to be menacing and has a feeling that if they make her angry, she could wipe the city off the world map and reduce it to ashes within an hour. Faye wants to know why they are accommodating such a dangerous god. The secretary didn't think she was threatening at first, but after these revelations, she wants Faye to watch over her. The lad lets out a scream after taking a moment to process the request. Miranda drops some exposition stating that humanity still doesn't know why the superior spiritual beings descended to Earth. She wants to figure out why the god is still in their realm, but knows that Leolachea will get mad if they are direct about it. This task is perfectly suited for Faye because he possesses the Arise ability that won't let him die. The power of the gods is great and can destroy humans with ease. Leolachea chose him personally. Miranda shows him a card game, informing that he will have to put on a little show. They enter the room and Faye can see that Leolachea is a true lover of games given how many litter the area. Faye picks up a pair of dice and calls 2 numbers before throwing it. They land on those exact numbers. Miranda wonders if that was a coincidence, but Faye proves that it was pure skill by his explanation of how to throw the dice. Leolachea comes out and Faye is hit with a vision of the red-haired woman he has been looking for. He recalls all the fun times he had with her. Miranda introduces the lad as the era's best player, The secretary discloses that the guy has won 3 Gods games since he debuted just a year ago. Miranda informs Leolachea that he will be her assigned supervisor going forward. Faye is still stunned by the uncanny resemblance, so he spaces out. The boss brings his attention back before excusing herself. Since she has so much work to do, she pleads with Faye not to mess up this role. By the time he turns back to the god she has jumped before him, Leolachea cuts the small talk and wants to play a game. Faye suggests they formally introduce themselves, and the higher being reveals that they will be doing just that through the game. As she places some cards on the table, Faye is a little confused because this is not the normal format for a Gods game. He inspects the cards and sees that they are duplicates, and on them are written prompts for personal questions like name, age, hometown, and more. Leolachea divulges that she made them herself and calls the game Self-Intro Memory. The rules are the same as a regular memory game, but they will be paired with the themes written on the cards. If a player pairs the hometown card, then the opponent must give information about themselves regarding that topic. The answers must be truthful. Faye stops Leolachea as she gathers and shuffles the cards. He wants her to redo it, because he has already memorized the cards and the first shuffle location. The god is surprised he managed to do it that quickly. She is impressed and expresses her fondness for Faye, especially the fact that he didn't want to cheat and wanted to play against a god fair and square. After getting a hint of his capabilities, she doesn't think they should play on such a small table. She instructs the cards to float and begin turning. They enter different orbits and move at random speeds. Leolachea notes that even if she doesn't know how they are going to turn, this should be more challenging for them since they both have impeccable memories. She modifies one rule where each player gets one turn regardless of whether they make a pair or not. Miranda watches the game from her office with the aid of hidden cameras. The god gives Faye the first turn, but he doesn't make a match picking the blood type and hometown cards. As they float back into place, he wonders if gods even have blood. Leolachea tells him that their blood is hotter than lava and melts a whole building with a single drop. She lets him know to match the blood type card if he wants to learn more about the topic. She leans forward when she's about to take her turn. Faye complains that it's a distraction, so she moves behind a chair and picks. Sadly, they are not a match, but she picks the second hometown card. The god wonders if he can tell the location of that card now that they have seen them. Faye confidently picks them out. Leolachea talks about the elements realm and how humans need a special door to enter. He is aware of it since he has been using it to deliver some L's to the gods. Miranda continues to watch and hopes that Faye can be the first human to attain the clear and receive a celebration. Faye is taken aback that the deity is freely answering the questions. She points out how it's part of the rules. From her tone, he can see that she thinks that rules are supposed to be enjoyed along with the game. Leolachea takes her turn and matches the name cards. Faye formally introduces himself, and the god asks if he has any nicknames. This triggers him to realize that one can ask questions related to the theme on the card. Depending on the player's wit, they can indirectly get other cards answered. He can see that the key to his victory is also to avoid some cards. As the game continues, Faye gathers more information as he pairs more. At this point, he feels like he knows the location of all the cards he needs. The only issues now is figuring out what the god wants. Leolachea takes her turn and matches the 2 blank cards. This means she can ask any question. Those were one of the pairs he was trying to get. The god reminds him that he must be truthful, but her demeanor becomes very hostile when she activates her powers with her eyes looking like the Eye of Sauron. She asks him what the real reason for him trying to get closer to her is. Faye realizes that her comment on being a former god was not accurate because her power is very much on the level of a superior being. He has been taught any game is enjoyable if one gets a person to play with. Faye confesses that he was also after the blank card. He's not surprised that she saw through Miranda's motive and reveals that his goal is to keep an eye on her. The chief secretary panics because disclosing their goals could prompt Leolachea to reduce the city to ashes. Faye adds that they wanted to find out her identity and what her motives are, but the god relaxes after confirming her suspicions. She calls him a good human because he answered honestly and earnestly played the game with her. Faye doesn't know how to react to such kind words. She already said she liked him, and she wouldn't have asked that question if that wasn't the case. The god gives him permission to address her informally, which would make the games they play more fun. He has lived up to the game's potential. The cards that he gathered show that he wasn't trying to win in the first place. Faye figured that the true nature of the game was not to take a card, even if one knew where it was. For example, it would have been pointless for him to pick the name card when he already knew her name, as that would be a waste of a turn. She wants to know why he didn't ask for her motive when he picked the dream card as it is under the same theme. Leolashea asks what he was planning to question. If he had gotten the blank card, he is curious if he will get an answer. The guy asks why she stayed on Earth instead of returning to Elements. He also wants to know why she chose him because there are plenty of apostles more skilled than him. She grabs his hand to show his Arise seal and points out how he's the only rookie to get 3 wins in a row. She has heard that even in the last century only a few rookies could pull that off. She would like to clear the gods' games with him. She shyly reveals that she came down to Earth to play with humans, but she didn't know that it was a one-way trip from the elements to the physical world. She's stuck and can't go back to being a god. To resolve this, all she must do is get 10 victories in the games. Faye guesses that this means she knows what the celebration is. Leolashea divulges that it is what the humans have been theorizing for some time. The gods will grant the winner a single wish, and it's not just one wish. The humans can have as many as they want if they keep winning. Because a single human has never achieved this before, that is why they don't know about it. She grabs Faye's hand and drags him to the dive center after getting dressed in the apostle's outfit. Leolashea stands before the divine gate to the elements realm. She reveals that she has been waiting for a human like him. She drags him into the game, and they arrive at the superior spiritual area. There are other apostles present, and they are soon confronted by the god. A chibi-like creature informs them that they will be playing hide-and-god-seek and starts the game. The god wastes no time and smacks the building, raining debris over the apostles. The apostles manage to dodge the falling debris, and as they run to safety, Faye recaps the rules that they are aware of so far. They must hide away from the Titan within the marked area. One of the conditions for humanity to lose is if everyone gets caught. This means that there is more than one way for them to be defeated. Running away can lead to their victory. However, they can still lose even if they are able to flee. Currently, they don't know the full victory conditions, and there is still a second situation that would lead to their defeat, even if everyone runs away. The apostles split into 2 groups, but Asta makes a mistake and jogs out to find a building to hide in. The Titan spots and squashes her like a bug. Everyone looks on mortified at the sight that waits for them when the smoke clears. They are astonished to see that she didn't get a game over. However, the top half of her body becomes red, causing her to lose control and shoot her wind spell at her comrades. After witnessing this, Faye figures out that one of the hidden rules is that defeated apostles become subordinates of the god. She ends up hitting some of her teammates, and this leaves the vice captain open to being attacked, but this also causes those who were hit by Asta's attack to also get changed. Faye can see that one can get infected, even when not directly hit by the Titan. The dynamic duo decide to run away from the situation before they get infected. The Titan suddenly stops chasing them and turns its attention elsewhere, but Asta continues the pursuit. Faye speculates that the god intends to go after the others before overwhelming the 2 best players with his new army of apostles. The rookie superstar notices that the bottom half of those infected is unaffected. Asta complains about not having control of her body. The fact that she's still in elements means that she has not game overed yet. Faye concludes that there are still hidden rules in the game. After some thinking about what this half-and-half color scheme means, the guy has an answer, and as soon as he exchanges a look with Leolashea, she understands his conclusion. They dart into an alleyway and hide behind some trash cans. Faye ambushes and covers Asta with one of the bins and holds it in place. This leaves her bottom half free to get tagged. With that, the duo are sure that she will return to normal, and their hypothesis is right. The next hidden rule is that it's possible to return the god's subordinates back to the human side by tagging them. Because they figured this out, the Titan turns his attention back to them. Faye orders Asta to hide while they finish the game off. The god destroys a building in celebration that the lad is figuring things out. The 2 continue to run while they try to decipher what the victory conditions are. Leolashea is happy to see she and Faye are on the same wavelength, which she already suspected would be the case. But what impresses her the most is that he's taking the game seriously. The guy doesn't think that the game could get any more thrilling, so how can he not be engaged? She tells him that this mentality makes the gods happy because they can have more fun playing the game with humans. Faye admits that he doesn't like losing and wants to take the win, and the Dragon Lady agrees. The 2 turn the next corner and find a mob of infected players waiting for them. The leader of the team apologizes and tells the duo not to give up. They begin to unwillingly chase them. The survivors run into the shopping building, and Leolashea breaks the bridge to slow down their pursuers. They hide behind one of the shelves, and the dragon god wishes they had more people on their side. Her comments about how everyone got flipped triggers Faye to think of the final piece of the game. He lets Leolashea know that this challenge is a combination of 3 games. The first is hide and seek, the second is tag, and the last is a game called Reversi. This explains why there are two lose conditions. With this new information, they decide to split up. Leola Shea jumps out of the window while Faye goes to the roof of the building. The guy predicts that the Titan will systematically destroy the other buildings before dismantling the department store, and that will lead to the gods' win. He just hopes that he and his partner make it before it does this. The Titan uses his subordinates to lead him to the rooftop so that it can finish Faye itself. The god crushes him with a punch, and Leola Shea gives a knowing smile after seeing the attack land. Faye is not incapacitated due to his self-regeneration, so he will not become his subordinate. He informs the Titans that they will be the ones to meet the victory conditions. Faye drops the bombshell that the whole city is a reversey board. The apostles were the pieces, so getting hit and tag flips them, hence the color change. The game for reversey ends once the whole board turns one color. For the hide-and-seek portion of the challenge, it's when all the buildings get destroyed. All that is left is to determine who has more apostles on their side at the end. The only way for the humans to win at this point is to activate a chain flip. The god showcased this when it controlled Asta to blow the vice captain and the others against the wall. This was to line them up between her and the Titan, so that when the vice got tagged, anyone between them would also get flipped as per the rules of reversey. Faye and Leola Shea intend to use the same method. Asta steps out and blows their pursuers against the wall, leaving them incapacitated. The ladies tag them, turning them back to the human side, and with the greater numbers, the humans win. The Titan helps Faye down as it concedes. The following day, he's summoned to Miranda's office. She commends him and lets him know how successful the worldwide broadcast was. The chief secretary is also impressed by how well the new duo worked together. Faye agrees and expresses how in sync they were. Miranda can see that they would make a great team, and things are looking optimistic since they are one step closer to clearing the gods' games. She gives him back his card before he goes to Leola Shea's room. The dragon god reviews their match and asks Faye what he intends to wish for when they get their reward for winning 10 times against the gods. He tells her about his red-haired mentor and how he would wish to find her. The two officially decide to team up to clear the gods' game and claim their wish. Leola Shea gets excited to inform Miranda, so they go to her residence, but she berates Faye for it since he should know better. The chief sits and reveal how the stats show that a team of 10 have a better chance of winning games. Leola Shea is confident that she and Faye are more than enough. She doesn't want to play with people who don't have a genuine love for games. Miranda suggests that they should join other teams that don't have enough people till they build their squad of game enthusiasts. She turns to a reluctant Faye to order him to find good apostles for the dragon god. The following day, the duo gets some food, and Faye informs Leola Shea that he has posted a notice telling people that they are looking for team members. Those interested will contact them soon, but for now, they are watching a nearby booth that handles inquiries when it comes to complex issues with team applications. For example, apostles looking for a new team come to that booth, but while they wait, Faye intends to ask a few people about joining a team. He calls Ashlyn, who is the captain of Team Blaze. The leader is excited that Faye reached out to join his team and wants to seal the deal by the close of the day. However, he quickly ends the call when the rookie superstar asks if Leola Shea can also join. Faye calls him again, and the captain doesn't want her because of the incident where she viciously beat up a team of disgruntled apostles who were making fun of the gods' games after losing. Faye reaches out to Captain Yuki next, because they have a good game analyst team which comprises of coaches and other support staff. She is so happy to have Faye part of the team, till the guy mentions Leola Shea, which causes her to scream and end the call. The dragon god reveals that she beat Yuki in the underground coliseum, which traumatized her. Leola Shea feels bad because she was only trying to learn more about humans. Faye understands that all she wants is to play with them. He assures her that they will create their team if no one accepts them. These will be people who understand how they feel and have skills that will be useful for the gods' games. He gives teleportation as an example of a useful skill. Ironically, Pearl drops down from the higher floor using this ability. He wonders if she's looking for a team because movement skills are very convenient and useful. They follow her as she makes her way to the booth. The duo is shocked to hear that she's handing in a formal resignation. Leola Shea burns it before she can make it official, which annoys the girl till she recognizes them. She apologizes for her rudeness and offers to retire as a punishment. Faye tells her that they rather want to stop her from doing that. He enlightens her of their search for teammates, but the girl is not interested. However, she changes her tune when Faye offers to treat her to ice cream. As she eats, the girl reveals that her arise is the teleportation skill. The superstar rookie checks her profile to gain more information about her. He's a little confused because apostles are treated like idols, which is why no one wants to lose their status as one. Strangely, She wants to quit just after one loss. By the time Faye zones back into the conversation, Pearl has eaten over 30 glasses of ice cream. The guy is stunned by the heist she just executed to his wallet. He turns his attention back to the topic, wanting to know more details about her blunder which caused their team to take an L. Pearl was about to get eliminated and switched herself with their captain in a panic. The game's aim was to protect their leader. Her ability allows her to teleport and swap locations with her target. The duo is impressed with that ability, but she confesses that it has some limitations. She can only swap out targets that she touched in the last 3 minutes. As they saw earlier, she can also teleport herself to a new location. This loss was a team member's third one, so they were forced to retire. She feels like she was only able to get one win because of her team. Leolachea tells her that no team can win a god's game with weak members. The dragon god asks her to join them for their next challenge, and they will not blame her if they lose. But Pearl rejects the offer and runs away. Faye recalls his mentor telling him that the gods only smile upon those who reveal miracles, so he decides to look further into Pearl's case. Faye doesn't want this bad experience to make her scared to play games in the future. The duo go to her dorm and let themselves in when they don't get an answer. Faye worriedly rushes into her room to find her getting ready. After that awkward moment, they sit down to continue their discussion. After their last talk, Pearl went to give her old teammate some apology gifts, but they rejected them. Leolachea feels like both Pearl and her comrades don't understand that games are fun, whether one wins or loses. Faye suggests she redeems herself by joining them to help her old team win a game. He knows that she would regret walking away after such a loss. The girl recalls her frustration when she made the mistake. After a few more words from Faye, she decides to give it a try as she admits that she has never been scouted with this level of passion before. Miranda found out the day Pearl's old team was diving into a game. She discloses to Faye that he better win because she broke some rules to get that information. Pearl gets nervous before entering the gate, but with encouragement from the other two, she jumps in. They spawn free-falling, and Faye recognizes the god before them. He's Ouroboros, and he has given every apostle that has ever faced him an L, so Faye is excited to play his game and take that W. Pearl panics because the furthest she can teleport is 30 meters, which is pointless since they are so high up. Leolachea grabs her teammates and uses her powers to slow down their fall, but Ouroboros knocks them, causing them to have a rough landing as they cry in pain. They quickly recover, and Faye is excited that the game has begun now that they have landed on Ouroboros' back. The trio proceed and catch up with her old team. They all give her a hostile look, which makes her feel a little uncomfortable. Faye assures her that all will be well. He and Orvin, the captain of Team Inferno, exchange greetings before the super rookie suggests they compare information. Their team has already lost 3 members due to the crash and 1 to the Leviathans. The Arcane Court labels them as the subordinates of Ouroboros who turn ferocious when their prey fall off. Some of the members complain about being pitted against the unbeaten god. Their captain reminds them that they are being streamed all around the world, so they must not despair for humanity to see. They are joined by the game's Meep. It doesn't see the point in explaining the rules since it's sure that they are going to lose. Faye picks it up, prompting it to explain that the game is called Forbidden Word. If they make their master say a certain word, they win. The object of the game is to find out the word. They lose if all participants get eliminated. The teams start to move and are in awe of the size of the horns. It is revealed that Ouroboros is the longest among all the gods at 10,000 meters. According to the research, there is a hint to the game on the head on the creature. Their talk is interrupted when they are suddenly caught in a field of lightning. The Meep informs them that it's a random trap. They will not be able to escape if they don't find the forbidden word. Some of the apostles start to shout random words, but Leolachea stops the senseless utterances as she feels like it's related to the game. The Meep gives them a clue that they have already said the word. There is a time limit as the lightning gets closer with each moment. Faye quietly thinks as the others panic. He says the word ouch, which dispels the trap. The captain acknowledges that it's the only word they have said more than once. The god hints for them to proceed now that they have found the answer. Pearl wonders if Ouroboros understands the human language. Faye doesn't think it does given how everything has played out so far, but he's sure that the victory condition is to make the creature say ouch. He tries stomping on the creature, but that's not likely to work given the size difference. The captain orders his team to attack at the same time, but it does nothing. Leolachea steps up and hits it with a devastating punch, but it only blows away one of the apostles who is eaten by a Leviathans. She says sorry to the team and the captain accepts. Faye thinks that it's a game of ingenuity. Unless they figure out the correct way to make the god say ouch, they will not clear the challenge. The Meep forgot to mention the hidden rule, and that is if they do a certain thing, a reaction will happen. This will momentarily allow them to do something else. Faye makes a mental note of this. Meanwhile, Pearl alerts the group that the Leviathans are chasing them. She rushes to Faye for comfort and gets a little too close. This annoys Laodicea, who pulls her back. The dragon god reminds her that she came to make an improvement and show her old teammates that she's not a failure. This pep talk gets her centered again and ready to proceed without complaints. She follows Laodicea to go explore ahead of everyone else. They arrive at the tail of Ouroboros and are soon joined by the rest. The redhead points out the thorny object that sticks out. Pearl speculates that it must be the weak spot that makes the god say ouch. Faye gives her the go-ahead to punch the thorn. This triggers it to glow and fire a laser that bounce around, taking out 4 players and a Leviathan. The captain states that her careless actions that keep setting off traps will spell danger for their team. The others give her a scowl as she tries to frantically explain herself. Faye stops her and tells her to calm down, revealing that he would have done it if she didn't. He explains the importance of testing every possibility to discover the rules and victory conditions. The super rookie tries to let the members of Team Inferno understand that they must move through the traps while not blaming others for their mistakes. He goes back to the captain's comment that this is a trap. He doesn't think that the gods need to use such unconventional ways to seriously deal with weak humans. Faye feels like this is one of the hidden rules. If they attack Ouroboros' tail, it'll retaliate. He thinks that there were too few casualties for a god's attack. Even the accuracy of the beams were too bad. Their aim now is to uncover the second hidden rule. Since the game doesn't have a time limit, he sits down to think through the clues they have at their disposal. All the while, the team start to blame Pearl again because her previous blunder is going to cost them in this game. Laodicea gets annoyed by their constant picking on the girl. She asks those who are complaining to forfeit because they are spoiling the fun for the rest of them. They feel like she's the only one having fun, but the dragon god points to Faye, stating that he's also enjoying the game. The guy thinks of a solution and warns the others that there is going to be more victims this time around, but implores with the captain to keep watch when he gets back to their world. Faye tells Laodicea to hit the thorn, which she does. It triggers a huge beam to be fired that wipes out everyone apart from the trio, thanks to the dragon god. When the dust settles, the Leviathans start to attack Ouroboros. Faye reveals that they are neutral monsters, and not the subordinates of the god. They also get mad at the god for attacking them. Faye grabs Pearl and jumps off and lands on one of the Leviathan. The last hidden rule is that after the gods retaliates, they can temporarily use the sky whales. The super rookie and the redhead figure that the weak spot on Ouroboros is below, where it hides its eyes. To get it to say ouch, they need to destroy them. Unfortunately, they act like a defense system. Each eye attacks enemies coming from their respective sides. Laodicea deals with the first eye but gets taken out by the second. Faye rides on a Leviathan and uses its momentum to crash into the remaining one. Pearl perfectly times her teleportation power to get him to safety. The world watches on and cheer that they managed to defeat the unbeatable god as it screams the forbidden word. Team Infernos are impressed that Pearl came in clutch. The captain now understands that they are all on the same team. The trio are greeted by the true form of Ouroboros, which happens to be a female. She commends them and admits defeat. As an additional reward, she gives them one of her eyes. This allows them to face her again when she creates a more difficult game. We learn that the item has a mythical level of difficulty of obtaining it. Meanwhile, Nell wakes up from a reoccurring dream about the last game she played, which seemed to have ended in a loss. She looks at her Arise, wondering why she can't get rid of her regrets. The lady looks over the live stream of Fate's showdown with Ouroboros on her TV. She continues to watch as the ultimate rookie takes the W. His clear love for games inspires her to devote her life to him. Later at Ruin City, Laodicea expresses her frustration when Miranda informs them that they can't dive into another god's game. There has been a significant surge in teams signing up to all the divine gates located in the city. The latest win against Ouroboros has hyped up the other apostles to chase their own victories. The earliest available slot is in 1 month's time. The dragon god is not satisfied with that and drags Pearl with her so that they can go and steal a team slot at the Divine Gate. The latest member of the team protests as she's pulled towards the door. Faye ignores their antics as he expresses his concerns of the dangers of denying Laodicea some games to play, as this might cause her to go berserk. The chief secretary is not too worried about that, because she has a way for them to participate in some games while they wait for the month to pass. She turns on the TV, which has a proposal for the World Games Tour. They have received a mountain of requests asking the hottest new team to play games at various locations. Apostles who defeated difficult gods become global heroes. A dartboard with different cities is brought forward. Pearl is given the honor of throwing the dart to see the city they will be visiting to participate in their games. Her feeble throw lands on the sacred spring city of Malra. Faye is excited to see what kind of apostles they will meet there. The team find themselves on a train to the city. Pearl expresses her respect for the ex-apostles who use their arise to protect humanity after their retirement. Some of them even use their powers to develop new areas in the outside world. The party rest while on the train, and soon they arrive at Malra. The girls get excited, ready to hit the town and play some games, but Faye reminds them that they need to visit the Malra branch first to make their arrival known. Pearl notices Nell holding a banner welcoming the team to their city. They already find her to be very sus. She spots them, prompting the trio to run away, but she uses her arise to catch up and even gets in front of them. From that feat alone, Faye guesses that she's an apostle. Nell formally introduces herself and implores with Faye to make her his subordinate. She talks about how she concluded that he's the only master for her after seeing the stream of his game with Ouroboros. Faye is a little taken aback by the master and subordinate dynamic she's trying to create. Nell doesn't think she's going overboard. The lady is willing to cook, do laundry, iron, and basically anything he wants. Leolachia and Pearl look at Faye strangely after hearing that last statement, but he asks them to stop judging him and help him out of the predicament. Nell starts to cause a scene when she bows down, hoping to be accepted. By the time she looks up, the trio are making a getaway. She asks for them to wait for her as she chases. Nell crosses the road without looking and is about to become Truck Kun's next victim. However, she's seen enough Ninetales recaps to know better and counters with her arise called Moment Reversal. It gives her the ability to kick back any form of energy or mass. The effects of her power are displayed when the car is repelled and starts to do the moonwalk before crashing. She worries about the driver, stating that she forgot to consider him when protecting herself. The trio are just relieved to have made it to the Malra branch. Faye feels like getting away from her was the best thing to do. They start to catch the attention of the apostles, who recognize them as the team who won against Ouroboros. Chief Secretary Belegar Ions startles Pearl as he introduces himself. They take the stairs to his office because he thinks that it's healthier. This also gives him the time to explain that the World Game Tour main event will be a God's game in 3 days. They have rented out a 10,000-seat stadium so that the city's people can enjoy this special event. He is sure that the residents will cheer them on, but before then, there will be an inter-city competition which will aim to bring their cities closer together through gamesmanship. Faye gets enthusiastic hearing this. Many of the local apostles wanted to participate just to face the Dragon God and the ultimate rookie. Pearl is a little salty that she's not as sought after. They enter a space which has commemorative photos from the previous year's World Games Tour. Leolachia notices that some teams are wearing the black uniforms. The chief tells her that they are the top teams in their respective branch. They are soon joined by Dax, who wears a black uniform with the signature red Malra accent. He wastes no time and introduces himself before admitting that he has heard a lot about them. Belegar feels like he's being a little too casual given he's talking to the Dragon God. Daz doesn't intend to give her any special treatment. The only thing he cares about is if they are good at games. Leolachia is happy to see that he has that kind of mentality, since people like that are her favorite type of humans. Pearl comments on his black uniform, triggering Belegar to reveal that he was just a rookie year ago, but still managed to establish his team faster than anyone else. They are currently the best in the city. They were victorious in their first game. His current stats are the same as Faye's, that is 3 wins and 1 loss. Dax informs Faye that they were brought together by destiny. He offers the ultimate rookie a spot on his team called Tempest Cruiser. The guy is currently gathering the talented newcomers from around the world to create a super team to clear the God's game. Faye politely rejects the offer, causing Dax to excuse himself, but Faye can see that he hasn't given up. Night falls on the city, and the team get comfortable in their lodgings. Since they will be teaming up with Malra Apostles for the God's game, Faye has been watching their gameplay. He puts a clip on the screen, and the ladies are surprised to see Nell. The superstar rookie did some research and found that she retired a month ago when her team gave up during a game. Her final stats were 3 wins and 3 losses. He can see that she is talented and is someone who pulls off all orders without fail and is great at supporting her teammates. From the footage, Pearl can tell that she and Nell are opposite. Pearl's mistake led to her team losing, and the disgrace pushed her to retire. However, it looks like Nell retired against her will. Faye feels bad for treating her like a lunatic earlier and wishes she explained the situation first. Their team meeting is interrupted by room service, and they all realize that it is Nell in disguise. She gets embarrassed and runs away before Faye can talk to her. Dax bumps into her and feels that someone of her caliber shouldn't act so pathetically. She was one of the top prospects when they were both assigned as rookies. He knows that her fate was due to the bad luck of having bad teammates. He offers her a place on his team as an analyst, but the girl rejects the offer, stating that she only plans to join Faye's team. She makes a wager that her master is going to win the intercity competition. The following day, the stadium is full, and the trio wait backstage. Nell comes to inform them that Dax has a natural talent for games that will prove difficult for even Faye to overcome. She begs for him to win, but is unable to say what will happen to her if he doesn't. Nell just tells them that she will be cheering for them in the stands. Faye thinks it's nice to have someone cheering for them. They step out to the roaring crowd. Dax explains that this is a battle of pride between the two cities, but he has also come to put his soul and love of the sport on the line. Faye loves how passionate the guy is about games. The leader of Malra's top team lets it be known that a game will be randomly selected from thousands. He gives the signal for the operator to start the chosen game. The pieces appear on the arena, and Faye figures that the game is Sugoroku. That brings the episode to an end.
Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time for more legendary tales.